Good morning. I kind of did something to my base here. I have a crazy amount of doors. These are all doors. This here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. And it's just annoying opening, closing, shutting all these doors. So what I did, boom. Isn't that beautiful? All doors open and close. So this is something when I'm online I can use. However, that being said, there are counter raid measures to this. When I log off, I have another switch upstairs that I have to flip for this one to even work. So two switches need to be on. So I just want to explain the first part on how I do this, and then I'll go through the counter raid measure. Basically, you'll take your first switch, put it where you want to have access to, where you want your doors open and shut from, and you'll go into an electrical branch, and then you'll take so your switch to the input on your electrical branch to your door controller. Then you need to have your door, obviously, right? You need to have it unlocked and closed, and then so I'll pick it up just so that I can place it down and demonstrate it. So once it's unlocked and closed, I'll take my wire tool and I'll go from the branch, because there's two inputs for the electrical branch. You got your output, you've got your power out, and you've got your branch out. You're gonna go branch out into your door controller and then push E on your door controller to sync with the door that's closest to it. And then you will lock your door back up again. And now, so remember, switch, input on branch controller, and then branch out door controller, and then your power out. Basically, that's what you're gonna do for every door. Every door that you have right here. I didn't do this door because there's just a bed here and I really don't go here. Oh no, my wife's alone in her room. Sorry to disturb you, honey. So what you're gonna end up doing is put this up at every door. So you'll see mine. I have some here, here. I got one here, and it's the same concept applies. So what I'll go power out into my next door. So I'll go power out into this one right here, which is the input on my branch controller. Then I'll go branch into remote controller or a remote door controller, and then I'll close the door, unlock it, synchronize it. Once it's synchronized, the door should open. Lock the door back up again. Go power out onto my next one. Now this one right here is the same thing. Don't let this fool you. I know this one looks like it's a little bit different, but it's exactly the same thing. So I have, for example, I think power comes from this side on this one right here. So I have my power going out into my power input here. Okay, so my power input here, and then I have my branch right here going into this remote control door. So this is to close this door here. Okay, and I'll explain to you why it's placed like that. If I were to put it right here, my door controller, if I were to put it right here, it would close this door because it'll go to the door that's closest to it, which technically, if I put it right here, this is the door that it's gonna close. However, if I put it right here, then this is the door that it's gonna close. Okay, and then you keep following that pattern throughout your entire base. Put up all, and honestly, the simple way to do it, put all your remote door controller and your branches up first. Every one of them, put them all up, and then just do that. Just keep going. Say input. You'll take your power from your switch, go into your input, branch goes into your door, your power goes into your next input on your electrical branch, and then vice versa, branch into your door controller, and then you'll take your power onto your next input. Now, the only reason why I didn't, so what I could have done is I could have just taken power out, and here, my last switch was installed downstairs. So I could have literally, if I wanted to, go like this, power out, go into the input here. But that'd be gross. There'd be, here, for example, there you go. You'd have a cable running across. Wouldn't that be disgusting? So what I did instead is I'll go, power out I'll follow all cables that I've ran up. Okay, so if I want to go to that switch, if I want to go, this switch already has input power going to it, and then I'll go power in right here, and then I'll go left side is the branch out, so I'll branch to the remote control, and then I'll start again. I'll start with the this is already done, so I can't do it, but I'll go power out onto my next door, which is over here somewhere. Yeah, I would have taken this one, and then so everything, the pattern just stays. Branch into your door controller, power out, and do that for your entire base. Now, here's the counter raid measure. You don't want to have just one switch. Could you imagine? They blow in this door right here, right? All my doors are closed, right? They blow in this door. I can turn my lights off, and they just flick this on. Boom, right? Isn't that awful? So this is what I have here going. So I'll go to my counter raid measures. I've got my battery coming in right here. This is my battery going to this switch right here. Now this, I've kind of complicated the setup. I'm kind of learning with electricity. I don't need to have this switch here at all. I can go branch, or not branch, sorry, fuck. Battery to my switch. Okay, and this switch basically goes and powers my AB switch, or my AND switch right here. So if I flick this switch, you see, all red there. So there you go. I'll go right there. This switch right here will power my AND switch. Now I have this going downstairs, my downstairs switch, that also powers my AND switch. So if I flip this, that AND switch up there is actually what, there's going to be no juice to it. So if I go downstairs and I flip that switch, I'm going to lose power. It'd be the same thing as if I flip this. So both these switches need to be on. They would need to raid the downstairs and the upstairs at the same time. So when I log off, my wife's normally downstairs. Now I'm gonna have to do it the long way. For example, I'll do it from upstairs. It might be faster going down, and then closing all doors. For example, when I log off, I'll flip this. Oh, I flipped the wrong one, and I'll explain why I messed up when I installed this. I shouldn't have had this switch here, because that means power is constantly always going on. This is the switch that I need to flip right here. This is the off switch to the whole system. This turns off the power, then the battery recharges. If this switch stays on, your battery's always going to be dead. So I'll flip that switch, go downstairs. I'll leave all the doors open. I like opening them all at a time and then going back and closing them, because you don't have to wait for the animation every time. So turn off this switch. Alright, now I'm ready to log off. Just got to close the doors after me. And voila. That's my counter raid measure to this system, so that they don't just randomly bust into the front door. And here it is, right? Here's my switch right here. Nothing's happening. Nothing at all. And these are just my lights. But nothing happens. That switch upstairs needs to be on. And now, this switch is bottom left. That switch upstairs is top right of my base. My base is a 3x3. And it's 3 stories high. So my bottom left and my top right are the farthest corners away from themselves. And I don't think they're going to raid both angles. And so basically, as soon as they break in, flip the switch, nothing happens. They have to break in downstairs and upstairs, flip those 2 switches to have access to all the doors. I just started messing around with the electronics here in Rust, and I'm having a super fun time with it. It's really cool, the things that you can have. But that being said, there's a lot more you can do. There's a lot more things that are interesting with turrets and everything. If you guys liked it, awesome. Hit it with a like. If you didn't like it, cool. You got the dislike button. Full respect. But that being said, that's all I wanted to show you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to have this in your base, I don't see why not, man. Dude, I can't stand opening all these doors. When I'm online, and this is something I use when I'm online and I'm around my base and doing whatever, I'll leave the upstairs switch on, I'll go downstairs, turn on that switch, and then I can run around my base, do everything I need to do, drop off, pick up stuff, loot up, come back, flip the switch, and then go off, do a little bit of mining, do a launch pad run or something, come back. It's sick having that option. I'm gonna experiment further and later on in series of switches to activate. Basically, all the switches would be along this wall right here, and you have to turn them on in a certain order, and then all doors will open. That's something that I want to try as well. It can't be too simple because again, you don't want it to be too easy to raid. So that's something I have to look at. But that being said, I hope you guys have yourselves a fantastic day. I just figured I'd show this for people who are interested. And if you are interested in having all your doors open on the base, I hope this video showed you. I don't mind going into more details. If you have any questions, go ahead, ask questions, comments, go nuts. Yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have yourselves a good day.